Hey everyone, welcome to Contest Prep University. I'm Joe Klemczewski with Adam Atkinson. We're going to start a new series, Extreme Weight Loss to the Stage. And I think this happens a fair amount, Adam. A lot of people make this the point of no return for their own goals. We love extreme things, right? So when somebody says, look, I've got 50 pounds, 75 pounds, 100 pounds to lose, hey, I got it. Let's do a bodybuilding contest. Let's get into a bikini. That'll be phenomenal motivation. And it may be, but there are a lot of things we got to talk through. We got to talk about realistic expectations, what happens to the body. So this whole topic was your idea, which I love when you come up with great topics. So what is your thought? What's that first intuition when a client contacts you and says, man, I've got all this weight to lose. Let's go.
Yeah, well, I think the idea is always attractive. It's an attractive model to people. And I think we see a lot more of this today due to Instagram, social media. Me and you have been doing this a long time, and we just didn't get inquiries back in the day of people that had this much weight to lose to do contests. And now it's a very, very common thing. And that's one of the reasons I kind of wanted to talk about it. I seem to attract that audience quite a bit. We're really known for a lot of the transformations as far as a weight loss standpoint goes. So I think when people see it happen so fast on Instagram, it's really easy to look at those pictures and say, I want to do that. And a lot of it just comes down to that initial behavioral change. And you know, when people are 75 to 100 pounds above stage weight, there are a lot of steps putting the training wheels on the bike, so to speak, with dieting. So that was one of the reasons we kind of wanted to go through the step-by-step process to kind of teach people how we approach this. It might not be as fast as the pictures, the transformations you see online, but it is possible. I definitely applaud and encourage people to do it.
Yeah. You know, I've talked about this a lot in the last few years, the difference between external motivation and intrinsic motivation. And, you know, doing something like a competition is definitely external. I want to look that way. That's now my goal. It's not that I'm trying to prevent heart disease or whatever else. It's just, I need this extreme goal. And I really have come to kind of circle back to the fact that that's okay. That's, you know, as long as somebody has realistic expectations and you can layer in those more internally based goals along the way, it's fine. But I do have to say, Adam, I want to be as honest as I can with all of the stages of difficulty people are going to encounter, a realistic time frame, and really make sure that they're in it and they embrace the work. Because I see a lot of people who do get into that, you know, social media, TV commercial game, or it's just, oh, sure, I can do that. You know, I'm the best. And as long as you give me your credit card, then, you know, I'll make it happen. And then they worry about the details later. And I think you're one of those people. So tell me how you, I mean, the good guys, not one of those people. So tell me how you bring up this conversation with clients who are just at that starting point, even determining if this is the right move for them.
Yeah. First of all, I usually get them comfortable with just sending some initial photos. And I usually extend the timeline longer than I think it's going to take, just to err on the side of caution. If they're willing to go that long, they're going to be more realistic about the whole thing. And then we'll talk about phases and all that stuff through this podcast as well. But I'm very upfront about timeline and saying, you know, maybe even if this doesn't happen, we can always change the date, but also encourage just the behavior of you're going to get healthier along the way, and kind of use those as bold topics to maybe just applaud what the end goal is, but also you have these bonuses along the way.
Yeah, I think that's something that's really important to understand as a coach, and maybe somebody embarking on this beginning step of this journey, is that you don't even know what you're going to experience yet. And just be really open to those positive changes and just not lock into one thing. So like you said about a specific date, giving yourself more time, you know, maybe not even have that date initially. Maybe it's like, well, you know, we're going to shoot for this fall, but if it's next spring, totally fine. Let's work on you. And so I think this is just a perfect place to start, Adam. And I know for everybody watching and listening, we're going to go through some steps now, some of the nuances that it takes both physically and psychologically to take extreme weight loss all the way from where you are to the stage. So stay tuned. And Adam, thank you. We'll chat again next time.